All right, guys, it is time for the second ever Weeb Weekly Podcast. I am joined by the newly rebranded, currently rebranding Jose coming out of Texas.
Yes, sir. What is up, everybody? Back at it again.
And I am joined once again by the currently relocated Mizu Shogun. What is up?
What's up? What's up, everyone?
So, guys, while we did not have the craziest week in anime this week, we did have what was a pretty good week trailer-wise. We have a lot of things on the horizon here to look forward to, on top of things that, we are currently keeping up with, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I said it right this week. I didn't say Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We also have MHA, new episode, and then we are talking Invincible, at least I'm going to be. And then we also have trailers for the Black Widow movie coming out. Fast 9, Fast and Furious
Fast
9? Fast 9.
I don't even know.
They're just pulling names at this point.
Yep.
Fast 9, and then we have Sao Progressive. We got Loki. We got a lot of trailers coming up. So not a spoiler heavy episode, but we are going to start with the TV shows that we are watching. And naturally, the best place to start is the place we started last week, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Great episode. Incredible ending, but we'll get there in a second. Jose, give me your thoughts.
So this is the point that I was trying to get at last week. You got to raise the stakes, baby. You got to let us know where the real meat is at. And we finally got it. The Flag Smashers were dealt with in a little bit more context. We got a little more context into their motivations as it's like the rebel alliance, let's say, for what's it called? When you relocate somebody that went through like a traumatic experience, like
it's right there on my brain too.
Yes. The first thing that I can think of is like, it's not expatriated. Anyhow, like they just went through
It'll come to me in like 5 minutes.
It'll come to me. Refugees, like
refugees.
Yeah, refugees.
Damn it.
Refugees. So like all those like they're the revolutionary refugees, right? For that awesome alliteration right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this conjoined relationship by the fact that they were all victims of the blip and not being cared for after the blip, right? The Global Repatriation Council does not care about them. It essentially let them to rot in I think it's
all
Latvia.
About the people who came back.
Yeah, I think they're in Latvia, at least when that show starts, when they're doing the funeral. And we got to see a lot of developments. First off, how is Baron Zemo the source of reason in this show? Like
every week I like him more. I can't stop. I'm on the Baron Zemo train.
I expected it. I expected him to take charge and be like the source of like, look, you got to think a little bit farther ahead because you've never been on the other side of the coin. You've always been the aggressor, trying to obviously for a greater cause. It's all for a righteous cause. But Baron Zemo's been on both ends of the stick, and now they're finally getting to see what it's like to be the underdogs or be actually like persecuted in a way. And yeah. I as soon as he started stomping on those vials, I knew it was about to go down.
Okay, here's the thing.
I knew it was about to go down.
In that moment, I was like, is he gonna take it? I was like, I thought he was about to shoot himself up. Because I thought, it was like everybody has ideals until you get tempted. And then it's like, how better to get rid of the super soldiers than to be one yourself. But when I saw, listen, this is why I'm starting to like him more and more.
Sir.
Is because listen, you can say what you believe about his conviction and his ideals, but someone being faithful to their ideals in the face of massive temptation was dope. It was a really, really cool scene. And yeah. I mean, Mizu, what do you think?
I definitely agree with you. I was thinking the same thing when I saw Zemo pick up the vial. I thought he was going to be like, I thought he's going to give into it, but he didn't. He followed by his own viewpoints and did as he said he would. And just to change the conversation just a little bit, John Walker.
Mm-hmm.
John Walker.
U.S. agent.
is turning out to what I expected him to be. Because at first I was kind of hesitant because I was like, are they gonna deviate from the comics, not make him like a really, because he's ruthless in the comics.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to make him different in the show, but no, he's starting to show his true colors.
Cracking.
Definitely. And the part I do like is there are human elements to him, especially when he talked about getting all those medals, talking to Lamar, saying that, oh yeah, just another medal to remind me of the worst day of my life.
That's what the Medal of Honor is, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, like you listen to these stories from Medal of Honor recipients, and it's like I think the most recent one was they gave 2 or 3 to these guys out in a base camp that was at the bottom of all these mountains, and it was the day from hell. I think Inside the Wire is a really good movie about that event, but it is a commemorative, you know, piece of metal and ribbon it serves to remind you of like a day you most likely lost a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
And like that could definitely, like, you can see that weighing heavy on him. And like also the pure, I believe, I guess what he considers as like a disrespect of getting destroyed by the Dora, which was absolutely incredible. And I loved the quip of him being like, you might want to go fight the Winter Soldier before you go fight the Dora. And here's the thing, like, obviously we'd seen the Dora fight. We'd seen the Dora fight in I believe it was Endgame, and then
Winter Soldier, I believe,
and Winter Soldier. But like, listen, the fact that they are fighting like borderline superhumans. I mean, at that moment, US agent hadn't taken the serum yet, and like just embarrassing them. And then the way I don't know the name of the woman who kicked the shield. Was that the one who kicked the shield and caught it? And then you get reminded by the fact that like, yeah, they fucking made that shit. Of course she can handle it. Of course she can handle it. She was born with vibranium. Yes,
sir. I think that one of the things that I also wanted to get Mizu's opinion on is like the 5 big things from this episode, especially in that side, were really important, like nuggets of information. So one thing for me was in that scene, the fact that the Dora Milaje referred to the Winter Soldier as Bucky, not the White Wolf. So they expected him to go in favor of Wakanda and turn Baron Zemo out because like that he's their guy, right? They put resources, they helped him through trauma. We saw them exercise the Winter Soldier out of him. Like that's a big step. That's a bold move by the Wakandans. They could have just let him rot with the PTSD. They took that out of him. How incredibly advanced they are both technologically and strategically. They literally took out 2 special ops soldiers in Battlestar and John Walker in literally less than 5 minutes. They also completely discombobulated Bucky's arm in 30 seconds. So,
did you know they could do that? No.
And that's another thing. So some people are speculating that, like, there's a word through the grapevine that they're asking, how did she know that? How was she able to dismantle his arm like that? And some people are speculating or theorizing that the Wakandans never really trusted Bucky in the first place. Because of his past and stuff like that, and they maybe not know if he might relapse, and maybe put in a fail-safe technique or thing to get rid of his arm just in case he ever did wild out. And which is why I think Bucky himself kind of looked confused, like, oh, they had that this entire time. That means it kind of comes off as if they never trusted him in the first place. And going back to the Dora Milaje, the one thing that went over John Walker's head, he even said it later, that they weren't even super soldiers. That technique is more important than power.
Oh yeah,
big facts.
Yeah, I mean that's
took on, like, think about that. They took on the new Captain America, his sidekick, pretty much, and a super soldier, just like that. And mind you, they're just
Falcon
people with training.
Yeah, they also dealt with Falcon right there. It's like, you got to sit down, homie.
Like that. I mean, that's such an anime trope. You know, that's like I'm watching Boruto right now. I'm like rewatching it, And like that's an anime trope. It's like you can like take the easy road. Like you can take the easy road. You can take the super soldier serum, but like nothing's ever gonna ever outperform training and working hard. And I mean, let's also not ignore the fact that they do have vibranium spears. But
Yes.
at the end of the day, like they worked you because they trained harder than you, and because they are fighting more for what they believe in and that kind of thing. Like the mental and the physical like aspects of what they accomplish is much more than you ever will.
Oh, for sure. And I think another. Oh yeah, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna. I also. You have 5 major points. I have a lot of like key philosophical things I want to get into with this episode.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So well, first off, have you guys ever had Turkish delights?
Turkish delights? No.
I think
You
so.
have- Oh,
Probably not.
they are so. Zemo wasn't lying.
Yeah.
They are delicious. They taste
Okay.
like they're like imagine like a cube of molasses, but it tastes like marshmallow. It is
Oh,
delicious. But also since we were talking about Bucky's deprogramming, I thought it was really cool actually just seeing that. Because here's the thing, we just find Bucky during the movies. We just like they're like, oh yeah, I've been here. And he was like, and they fixed me. But like, how? Why? For what reason? You killed T'Chaka. So like actually getting to peer into that time skip that we experienced with Bucky is really cool. Getting to see them using all the trigger words, seeing what that does, like having him like break out of that is awesome. But also like that's the thing, Wakanda has never been entirely trusting. You know, it wasn't until T'Challa actually like being like the outside world needs our help. You know, so like it's a very isolationist, and that's how they stayed in secret. But like being isolationist is also being like, if we go out there, are we going to be trusted? You know?
Yeah.
And so you can see that there is that vein of distrust that flows through Wakanda. But my last and my biggest talking point, well, not my last, but of this stretch right here.
Before we get to the home stretch.
Yeah, is there a moral argument to not bring everyone back? Like,
In what way?
So was it morally incorrect for the Avengers to bring everyone back without consulting a greater power, is what I'm saying? Because that's kind of what the Flag Smashers are saying. You know, they want the world to go back to pre-blip, because like during the blip, like they're saying, the borders dissolved, people came together to coalesce and fix the world. Now everyone's back, and it's all about like it's the recreation of a wealth scale of borders, of boundaries, of all that. Is there a moral argument for like the Avengers to not bring everyone back?
I don't know. I have my opinions on that. You can go first if you want, Mizu, but it depends on what you want to go.
Honestly, there could be a moral argument to that, like especially how, you know, as you were saying, that everybody became more compassionate after, you know, pretty much 50% of the world was gone. And now since everybody came back, now everybody's going back to their old ways. I mean, we saw in the first episode with Falcon when the whole bank was just like, oh, you don't have a history of with us in the past 5 years. Well, that's because I was flipped
Not
away.
here.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have compassion.
In the soul stuff.
First of all, why is that a policy? Like,
Yeah.
why is that a thing in the first place?
Who wrote this form?
Exactly. So why did the compassion just stop? So, in knowing how our world is, you could make the argument that the world would have been a lot more compassionate, more open. But is it morally just to be like okay just to not bring people back is the question. So I get the argument, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah. I mean, I also don't agree with it. I think you should, like at the cost of saving human life should always be, you know, always be priority number one. But like, that's just where the Flag Smashers are coming from. And like, I caught myself like being like, you know, was Thanos right? Like, did he create a better world? But no, he didn't, because obviously that better world existed without half the population. But like, I'm trying to get into the, you know, the idea of the Flag Smashers to better understand them. What do you think, Jose?
I think it devolves more, and that's what Carly was saying, that like you have to give people the possibility of agency, right? Control over their own lives. And I think if you would have taken the Jaegerist argument, You could have said like, like they should have left them all like dusted, bro. You rise from the ashes, and whatever comes out comes out. But at the same time, I do get what she's saying. That like when things were pre-blip, everybody had a choice, right? You could still take full command of your own life without any third parties influencing your decisions, besides what is normally constructed in our social like structure right now. So you do like education, you could do it through like entrepreneurial works, like you could succeed in multiple ways than one. Now there's more barriers to entry, which is what they are referring to. Like, oh, if you're blipped, you have the roadblocks with the banks and other financial institutions. If you try to seek help as a refugee, the Global Repatriation Council won't think about you because they're thinking about the bigger picture instead of a few refugees that were extradited to another nation seeking for help. And that it breeds a lot of conflict internally, both for the Flag Smashers and for people as a whole. So I don't think the argument that like they should go. So going back to pre-blip, I don't think necessarily is the answer, but I definitely don't agree with Carly that this is like arsony and all that stuff is the only way to bring light to the situation, because now she's a convicted criminal, and like she, as we saw, she also committed a murder. She's
a couple murders.
Also, yes. Oh yeah, they did. They blew up the building. So that I love how the Marvel shows are towing the line in terms of morality, and especially with Carly, because another thing that I wanted to talk about, that just like quickly, is that relationship that she has with Sam. Right, Sam is the voice of the therapeutic voice, right?
He's the voice of the disenfranchised.
Exactly. He's like, I understand exactly what you're saying. And I think was it him that said it, or no, I think it's his sister that said it perfectly. My country doesn't care about my world. So I know exactly where you are. Like she's trying to like relate to her directly and be like, look, you got to stop, because like there's other people that feel like you, and that's not the answer, right? Yeah. But she still goes through with it. So I'm very interested to see in the season finale to later today in the morning what the outcome is going to be in terms of that relationship. And obviously we have a lot more that happened at the end of the episode. We did. Especially after the juice up, the Barry Bonds effect.
Well, so here's the thing. I think we can all agree Shannon's the power broker, right? Or am I being radical here? Okay, let's because
the power broker's male in the comics. That's the thing. The power broker's a male like robot basically in the comics. But I don't know. I like. Tell me your theory.
Okay, because here's the thing. This woman is living in a penthouse in High City with armed security, and she's simply like, oh, I'm an art thief, and she has access to satellites, but and she's sniping people, the high-ranking people, and my biggest thing was she's walking down the street in what's the name of I've already forgotten the most beautiful city on earth, Madripoor. She's walking down the street in Madripoor, walking through these blockades on her phone, like all around all these men with guns, and I'm like, where is she heading? And she has a vested interest in Bucky and Sam finding Carly. Okay, and guess who else is trying to find Carly? That would be the power broker. And she didn't know that they were going to kill Nagel, but now she needs the last of the vaccine so she can replicate it.
Yeah.
So that's why she has such a vested interest in trying to find Carly. And she's got the connections, clearly. I don't know. I was watching it and I was like, listen, I think that'd be a pretty cool twist.
Oh, baby.
If that does happen, I'll be flabbergasted. Like, wow, I did not see that coming.
I'm too left field then, is what you're telling me. I'm way too left field.
After at first when you just said it, I was like, I don't know. But as you explained it, now it is
right?
a possibility.
Right? I think it could happen.
And just to point out what Jose said earlier, yes, in the comic books, the power broker is male, but also the Flag Smasher was also male, but they made Carly female. So it is a possibility that they are gonna probably
gender bender.
Yeah, Marvel can do it.
I know there's only one issue where the power broker was male, because most issues the power broker's identity is never known.
Oh yeah, true. True, very true.
I think it's her. Okay. All right. So let's get into the juicing. Obviously, the biggest part of the episode was John Walker, U.S. agent, takes the super soldier serum. I think here's the thing. When I saw the first video of him, like episode 1, and like they're giving him the shield, and he was tossing that bitch anyways. Yeah. Like he was still like catching it, tossing it. And I was like, oh, another super soldier. But now when he throws it, it launches into concrete. My favorite part of that entire thing was Bucky, or I think it was Sam, slowly noticing like he did something. It was like shield into the wall, and he's like, what did you do? It was awesome. But the thing is, him and Lamar are talking. He's like, what would you do if you got the super soldier serum? And he's like, power makes you more of yourself.
What you are.
And the only thing I could think of was the old Bill Cosby joke about cocaine. And Bill Cosby goes talking to a dude about cocaine, and he's like, cocaine makes you more of yourself. And he goes, well, what if you're an asshole? And I listened, completely disavow Bill Cosby, but I was like, this makes sense for this moment. I was like, what if you're an asshole? All right. You don't want to amplify the power of an asshole.
That's very true. I'll let you go first, Mizu.
I definitely agree with that. And I love how they had both John Walker and Sam had this same conversation with different people, and they gave them different answers. When he talked to the Winter Soldier, he talked to Zemo, they were bringing up the whole thing of like, supremacy, like how power can corrupt people. And then we see John Walker have the same conversation, and he's talking to Lamar, and Lamar gives his whole point of view. And I just love how it just points out the fact that not everybody thinks the same, and everybody has their own what they think is right. And Lamar is telling him that, power, like getting that kind of power just makes you a better version of yourself.
Yeah.
So I just like how they did that, because they could have easily been like, they could have went left field with it and made it sound bad. But no, they just made it sound natural, because what Lamar says, if it wasn't in this context of the situation, it wouldn't have sounded bad.
Yeah.
But since we have the context of it, what he's saying is bad, but he and them don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Jose,
sure.
what are you thinking?
Oh, back at it with the main man, Baron Zemo. He said it in the episode when they're talking in the bar. Yes, you can have people like the Winter Soldier who are reformed, but the reality is there's only one Steve Rogers. Like the serum has only worked completely well and to specifications with Steve Rogers, because Steve Rogers is, as we know, one of a kind, Yeah. So his argument just stands even more, like it's even more poignant. Like the super soldiers are a threat. That's why he killed them in the Civil War movie. That's why he said, you think I want more people like you? Like this just absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so that's his main shtick, at least for Baron Zemo. So that's one. Second, that I wanted to mention is the validation. Marvel has done it so well, validating that the right choice was never John Walker. It was a necessary choice for the government at the time, for whatever reasons they may have.
Was it though?
At least I'm saying for the characters, like for the characters in the character world, that's what they thought was the right choice. Yeah. But it's always been Sam, bro. Sam has stood by and been like, look, I don't deserve it. I want to like just carry on his legacy. And that's why Bucky never took the mantle. He's like, bro, he chose you. He chose you for a reason. I was an assassin. I'm dealing with my own grief in my own way. But you're the guy. Like, you were chosen by the man to take on his mantle. And so I love how they're incorporating that. And I love how our friend Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok was analyzing all of it. Like, bro, like there's so much nuance and so much depth to the reality that society doesn't want Sam to be like the face of the American like symbol, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
They don't want to give him the mantle because as you see on the show, the American system is still healing. it still needs to be
Yeah.
reformed. And that's
Yeah.
what that and that's not me just saying my opinions. That's what Marvel's saying point blank and period. Like they just
Really?
went through a whole like a police encounter, and they were about to shoot an Avenger. Like the police were about to like draw weapons on an Avenger. So like you know that Marvel wants to deal with these really deep, nuanced topics, and they're showing, validating that like it's not always the easy choice, but you have to make the right choice. And Sam is the right choice to be the next Captain America.
Because John Walker looks, and so does Steve Rogers, but John Walker looks like what like America would want, you know, like,
As a symbol,
like if we had like I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, if John Walker existed in today, exact same person, and we had a shield to give away, it would be given to John Walker. It would be. And he's not the perfect person. And Steve, if we're being entirely honest, Steve Rogers doesn't exist in the real world. He's a Jesus symbol, you know. He's a turn the other cheek, but also like hold back Thanos strong. Like that person doesn't exist. That's why I said last week, I was like, John Walker is the actual like Steve Rogers may be what we see America as, but John Walker is the reality of America. And I guess and then it juxtaposed to that though, Sam is the reality of like Black America, you know. And so that's why like those two opposite ends like of what you would want, like of what America would want to see versus like what we should be seeing, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then I think the final closing scene of him. All right, first off, here's the thing. That since we're talking about symbolism, this is a perfect segue into symbolism here. The blood on the shield. The blood on the shield was perfect symbolism. First time we've ever seen blood on the shield, by the way. Like we've never like Steve Rogers had it for what?
10 years.
100 10 years. Like 100 years. Never blood on the shield. He deflected bullets. He punched Red Skull in the face. Everything. Never blood on the shield. I mean, he fought Thanos with it. No blood on the shield. I mean, how long has he had it? How long has US Agent had it? Like 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
He's already skulled a dude in Latvia with it. But yes, very, very like poignant, symbolic, like symbolism right there. What'd you guys think?
You go, Mizu.
I honestly think it was very symbolic. I love how it just shows the difference between really driving home that John Walker is not the guy to wield this shield. And the part that just sucks even more is that the person he killed earlier in that same episode talked about how he looked up to Captain America.
It was the Captain America. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
When I was a child, he said, when I was a kid, I looked at the Captain America. Captain America was a symbol to me. And now that same man gets killed by Captain America.
Oh, fuck. Imagine you're like, oh, I love Iron Man, and then you just get like you just get like a laser through the chest. Oh, fuck, I forgot about that. What about you, Jose?
Dude, they did that. They did that. Marvel, I'm glad that they've stepped through the line, right? They've changed the stakes. Now they know like look, these things happen on a daily basis and people try to like turn their heads on it. But if you think about it, there's so much symbolism that applies to today, bro. This man is the symbol for like America, freedom, truth, justice, and the American way. He killed somebody outside of like US borders, right? Infiltrating on another country's borders. He killed him in cold blood. Like he was like dead, like subdued in the ground.
Yeah. No
mercy, right? And it's also in the era of the internet, so everybody saw it. Everybody knows what's happening.
In 4K.
Everybody saw it, bro. So like, there's no excuses now on the part of either the government or John Walker himself. He's exactly what Thunderbolt Ross was treating the Avengers like in Civil War. He's a criminal now.
Yeah.
So I am praying to see how they deal with that, because it better come with the exact same repercussions that they treated Bucky with, that they treated Steven with, that they treated Wanda Maximoff with, like for causing mayhem in Nigeria. Like, oh, they are about to show us a side of Marvel that we've never seen, which is total accountability on a global scale.
Yeah.
and I'm super excited to see it. I literally cannot wait until tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, please get sleep tonight.
Yes,
you
sir.
need it, sir. You need
yes,
it.
Sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. I'd say unless we have any final talking points on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'd say it's time we move on to My Hero Academia.
Yeah. Let it roll, guys.
Mizu. All right, Mizu. I got this one. This one's kind of quick because it was a pretty low key episode. A little bit happened. Basically, the biggest part of My Hero Academia this week was that we got introduced to, we got reintroduced to Shinsu, who is absolutely Eraserhead's son. I don't know how no one thought of this before. They threw him on. The second they threw the bandages on him, like the binding bandages, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's Eraserhead's son. He's got the eyes. He's got the messed up hair. It's so obvious. I feel like we're doing like this entire season is just going to be Maury or Maury, however you say it. It's gonna be like the Jerry Springer show. It's just gonna be like you are the father. Dobby is Dabby, Endeavor's son. You know, Shinsu, Eraserhead's son. Like it's just gonna be. We're gonna find out. We're gonna meet Deku's dad. We're gonna meet Bakugo's dad. It's gonna be awesome. What'd you think?
I'm finally happy that we're getting to this fight because I've seen it in the manga, and we finally get to see it in action in the anime between Class 1B and Class 1A. And being honest with you, I am rooting for Class 1B because I've been waiting to see them Class 1A get their asses kicked.
I want to know their powers better. Like I want to get like more intimate knowledge with their powers.
Definitely. And definitely with Shinsu on the come up because he was just in the general class and now he is now part of the hero course from his quirk. So I thought that was fantastic, especially with he could have went left field because all his life people were talking about how his quirk can make him a villain. Oh, yeah, you could be a great villain. That'll make you a villainous like person. And he didn't. He swayed away from all that. He was like, no, I mean, yeah, you're right, but that's not what I want to do. And luckily, that didn't like really deter him from being a hero, and just drove it home. And definitely, I like his
mask.
Tool.
Yeah,
he's able to mimic other people's voices,
which is so powerful. You just he did text me. He said his computer was gonna die.
Oh, okay, bet. Okay,
he said he was gonna join.
That's fine.
He said he was gonna join with his phone. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a podcast in the works. All right,
yes, sir.
We are out here grinding. This is the number 4 anime podcast in the country, ladies and gentlemen. We're over Zoom. We're losing people.
It's all good. It's all good.
Way it's gonna be. Okay, well,
this is the way.
While we wait for him to get back, you watched the you watched the Fast 9 trailer, didn't you?
Oh my God, yes, bro.
Yeah.
They're just okay. So let's establish something. The Fast series, like the Fast and Furious franchise, is off the rails, right? The last thing that we had to cover was going to space, and they just got the damn DeLorean now. Like they just put Tyrese and Ludacris in a spaceship,
like scuba suits together. First off, it's always Ludacris and Tyrese that get thrown into these situations. I was like, clearly this was Dom's idea. Like, why are we sending them? Why are we doing this? Also, like, there's just some things that will never sit right with me ever, and one of them is John Cena with hair.
John Cena with hair.
One of them is John Cena with hair. There he is. Welcome back.
My bad.
Welcome back. No, we're good. No, we're good. We're good. We were just reveling in the fact that we're the number 4 podcast in anime in the country.
Yes, sir.
And here we are. And here we are on Zoom with connectivity issues. Nobody can stop this. Okay, so we'll get
back to MHA.
We'll quickly go back to MHA now. So yes, Shinsu's power. Awesome. You literally just have to. I would just, if I ever like caught myself in a fight with him, I would just ball gag myself. I'd just be like, no, I'm not getting mind control there. You won't do it to me. But
for real,
like, and then on top of that, like, I thought they were like, it's wintertime, right? So like they're obviously like somewhere near Tokyo. So it gets cold. And they're like winter uniform time. And so like Deku's got a different uniform. Bakugo's got like Bakugo's heating himself with his own quirk. And then you find Red Right, and you find the Maker Girl, both still just shirtless. And I was like, you can tell. I was like, you can tell who they realize like people have crushes on, because everyone else got more clothes, and yet we still have like 3 people running around without shirts on in the middle of the winter. Like, they made a point to talk about winter uniforms. I was like, well, why didn't they get changes then?
Honestly, I mean, the only one I can understand a little bit is Momo, because her
Momo, that's her name.
Involves her. Yeah, she has to have an open space on her body for her to create whatever object she's trying to create.
Yeah.
But then again, you also get Kirishima, which was like, yeah, I don't know why Kirishima was like shirtless for.
Yeah,
or Tetsu and all of them.
Yeah, I love Tetsu. Dude, that fight's gonna be a lot of fun. And I like that they're introducing Shinso. I think that like when you have so many characters, some of them can definitely fall to the wayside. And especially I feel like My Hero definitely kind of falls into that issue. Is that you have a lot of these characters, like I forgot Momo's name, you know, I know like Deku, Bakugo, All Might, I don't even remember Eraserhead's real name, and so like that's the thing, like I know Todoroki, Toga, but like there's so many characters, but like Shinsu was an instant hook. Like if you're gonna add another character onto what is already a massive roster of characters, you gotta make him compelling. And I really think that's what it is, because he falls into the trope of anime protagonists that we actually don't have on this show already. Obviously Deku was underpowered, like the underpowered protagonist who's now OP. But like you don't have the protagonist who has to train his way up to like OP. You know, Deku kind of made a jump. You know, he wasn't born with quirks, but he was given a quirk. Like this guy right here has to hone his craft and catch up with a lot of people. And I think he is doing it magnificently. I am so excited to see more of him.
Yes, and I can't wait to see it animated, what he's going to do, especially in his training with Aizawa.
Yeah, using those, once he starts using those bandages, oh, it's gonna be incredible. Okay, all right, so that, like I said, unless you have any final speaking points, it was a relatively slow week. But me and Jose, we're getting into Fast 9. Did you watch the trailer, sir? Mizu?
I watched the trailer. Yep, I did.
Oh, give me
first impressions,
your
baby.
thoughts on the absolute insanity that was those 3 minutes. First off, a 3-minute trailer is a godsend. That's a mini movie. I'll take that.
My biggest thing is John Cena as his brother. Really? Like,
I mean, wouldn't you love to be at that family reunion?
And here's the thing: has he ever talked about his actual family before?
Nope.
Like,
no,
not even once.
Surprise.
Not even once.
No, it would be different. I would give it a pass if he talked about it in the past. Like, oh yeah, I have a brother, you know, a mom and dad, whatever. But no, if that's the case, then I'm like, where did this guy come from? And what does his brother do?
I think he's a cop. I think he's like the head of some.
He got more resources.
He has an army.
Would have.
I think he runs like a private security firm or something.
Spec Ops. He's a Spec Ops agent.
There we go.
I guess.
And so me and Jose were talking. I was just like, it's weird that he has hair. Like I don't like. He's been in these like recent insurance credit score advertisements where he rides a purple cow. That always makes me uncomfortable. I don't like him with hair. Like you're visible now. Like he shaves that head, he's invisible. He grows the hair out. I can see his ass.
Big facts.
No, but here's my other thing with that. In the trailer, he says that I'm always in your shadow, big brother. I'm like, wait,
what?
How? My man has been racing cars for like a good half the portion of the movie, and all his missions that he's been on has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
What was the reason?
Also, Vin Diesel's like 5'10" and you're like 6'2". So like physically, you're not in his shadow either. Like you are a huge dude.
Plus, it seems like you've been doing this kind of crazy stuff longer than he has.
You're Spec Ops. like you have an army you command to go after your brother. Clearly, you're doing some crazy shit.
Bro, I always get like even more and more surprised at how much money the familia has. Like, bro, if you have enough money to make makeshift like star destroyers, basically like spaceships, like you have enough money to basically just handle a few spec ops agents. No, you got to take it intergalactic, I guess. Like that's where Fast 9 is going.
Didn't they rob like all of Rio Grande? No.
Rio de Janeiro, they robbed Rio.
Yeah, they robbed all of Rio. They destroyed half of it with the safe. Like, it's just, that was the movie where that franchise lost its goddamn mind. And you know what? I've been here for the trip. Like, they have fought submarines, super soldiers in Hobbs versus Shaw. You know what's weird? I haven't seen The Rock in any of the trailers.
The Rock and Vin Diesel do not get along anymore.
Okay, so they're just not doing crossovers at all. So Hobbs and Shaw, because
it's his own special things.
Shaw. Wait, Shobbs. Which one is Shaw? Shaw is The Rock. Hobbs is
no. Hobbs is The Rock.
Hobbs is The Rock. Shaw is Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Jason Statham's mother is in it. I didn't see Jason Statham.
Yeah.
So they're just off doing their own thing.
Yeah. I don't know if Dwayne and Vin figured out their differences, but they've been like back and forth. And I was surprised that Tyrese was in the movie because he was calling out people. Yeah.
Who was he calling out? Did I miss this?
Yeah. Mizu, you remember what he did?
No, I mean, I don't remember the most recent thing he did, but I heard he has been calling people out.
Yeah. So he kind of had like a mini breakdown on Instagram Live.
Okay, I remember that.
Hashtag
calling
relatable.
out. I don't remember if it was Vin directly or like The Rock saying that like, oh, they need more opportunities for people of color and stuff like that, and like oh, that this is or he framed it in a way that like, oh, this is a family, right? And you're trying to take the family like away, and like people were saying like, bro, you're kind of like just salty that like you're not the main guy, right? They are the main guys. So like, you're just salty that like if they don't get along, your bread is gonna get in like put into jeopardy. So I think he was putting pressure. I think it was on either The Rock or Vin to keep the franchise going because it meant so much to so many people. I think that was like the argument, but it was just weird. I didn't even want to like.
Maybe that's why they sent him to space. Maybe that they just lumped in Luda with him, and they're like he had a meltdown halfway through shooting it, and they're like, fuck it, they sent him to space. Strap some. Yeah, Mizu. I
am also very happy that at least they acknowledge that they're doing some crazy stuff. Like Tyrese's character was just like, hey, we buy no tanks. Space to all this kind of stuff. Like, hey, at least you say it. At least y'all not acting like this is normal.
Yeah. No, it's
we
not.
bought a submarine.
They open the trailer with a car driving off the edge, and the plane's just like, yeah, this is normal, and just scoops it. And apparently magnets are going to be, you know what I think? Like, how you want to know how I think Fast and Furious movies get made? Vin Diesel just sees something, and he's like making a movie about it. I think he got one of those, like, you know, those like magnets you can stack and there's like little individual beads. And he was like, he saw like his child playing with it or something. And he's like, we're going to make the biggest one of those of all time. We're just gonna make a 2-hour, $200 million movie about magnets. It's like that movie Ryan Reynolds was in, Six Underground. Okay. Yeah, Six Underground on Netflix, and that is like, it's essentially the same plot. Like, there's just a massive magnet. They turn it on, they turn it off. Also, wait, hold on. Ryan Reynolds is coming out with a new movie soon, right? The NPC movie where he's an NPC in Grand Theft Auto, basically.
Oh yeah, basically.
That's coming out soon, right?
Probably. I'm excited to see if they're gonna announce it to be like a stream plus like streaming plus theaters release, because I don't know if they're gonna keep that model after the success of Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah. But it's really exciting because I love any type of video game movie that's done correctly. I'm looking at you, World of Warcraft.
It was a fine movie.
Hell,
if you just like World of Warcraft lore, that movie was okay. I'm not saying it should have won an Oscar, but it was fine.
I'm not gonna lie, I already came in with low expectations, so it did a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, you're going to watch, dude. Did you see the Assassin's Creed movie?
Okay, that was very bad.
Yeah, come on.
Okay. That's a timeout because that's in the same category as like Dragon Ball Evolution and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Never again. Never
Physical
again.
pain. Just
Never
thinking
again.
about just Avatar alone. I've never even seen Dragon Ball Next Evolution. I saw they cast the white guy as Goku, and I was like, no.
You're not missing at all.
Don't.
I was like,
Don't.
I am okay. Thank you.
Don't.
Dude, they're coming out with a Naruto live action movie coming up here. But before we get too sidetracked, before we get into like the Death Note live action and all that. All right. So the next trailer we have to talk about is Black Widow.
Yes, sir.
Which, all right, here's my thing. Here's my thing. So they're doing the thing where she's voicing over the trailer. Yeah. And she's talking about her death. Mm-hmm. So they're either doing the thing where it's like, it was like, what movie was that? I don't even worry about it. But like, they're like, just because I'm talking now, don't assume I'm alive in the end kind of thing. But like, is she still alive? Like, obviously she had to die for the Soul Stone. Yes. And technically that does separate her because she wasn't snapped away. But like, she's narrating her life. She's like, if you got to this point, like you got to know before, or is that entire movie going to happen within the span of her fall to the bottom of the Soul Stone? Like, is it her like narrating her life in like this, like, wonder how I got here moment, like that kind of thing?
I'm going to go with the latter with that one, because it seems like they're basically doing a narrating before she dies. And plus there's a theory going on that the blonde woman that was part of her family in the comics, she actually becomes Black Widow. So some people speculate that after this movie's over, maybe they might tease at the end that her sister will go on and maybe talk to the Avengers and might go on and take on the mantle of Black Widow going forward. I mean, I can't really see them pulling the whole bringing back people from the dead kind of thing yet. I feel like it's going to happen at some point.
They did time travel.
But I just don't know how they're going to do it, because if they do that, I'm not going to lie, it could change a lot of things. Open up a lot more doors, and not necessarily good doors. So yeah, I don't see them bringing back Black Widow at all, unless they do the whole, what's it called, multiverse thing, and maybe grab a Black Widow from a different multiverse, how they did with Gamora, and maybe use her as the stand-in. But that's the only two routes I can see it going right now. Is either they get a Black Widow from a different timeline, or they just get her sister to be the new Black Widow.
It's not a bad idea, because I just think the whole like Black Widow movie after her death thing, just it doesn't, within the confines of Marvel, just doesn't sit right with me. Like, I just like, you're telling me she's narrating it, you're making a movie. What if the movie does well? Like, that's a thing. Like, let's not forget this is a company, and like, let's not forget that this company is Disney. It is driven by the dollar signs. That movie is going to be the first of the Gen 4 movies. Let's say it absolutely smashes. You're telling me that Disney won't try and milk a sequel out of it? Now it's back. Everybody wanted her back, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm holding on to hope. Maybe I'm just being stupidly optimistic. But like, I just, it feels wrong. Something like in my soul feels wrong.
At least on my end, I have multiple like opinions on that, because like, for example, I'm the type of person that doesn't really like take backsies. So like, as if you have a character death, have it have meaning. So for example, Steve Rogers is presumably gone. So is Robert Downey Jr. Eventually, Chris Evans will leave. Nat was part of the originals, right? Yeah. And she's the one that like kept the glue together through Ultron with Hulk and all that. So she's had enough development where she can go in terms of like having she can go in terms of having a place in the current timeline. But if I believe the Black Widow the Black Widow movie will serve as like flashbacks. So like, if you, as we saw on the beginning of the trailer, it essentially looks like these are the flashbacks that she's having as she's confronting death, right? As she's falling from the cliff, right? And it explains a lot of her origin, right? With the people that she considered her family, and then she said like it's not real. She's confronting the reality that she's not, like, she wasn't part of a family. She was just indoctrinated into a society of secret assassins, right? A la Batman. So I'm the type of person that's like, okay, explore that. And even if you want to make a series out of it, explore like the missions that she did with Hawkeye, right? Explain what happened in Budapest, right? Explain everything in a series, and maybe put nuggets of like future villains like laying in the groundwork through like mannequins, like whatever. Yeah. So like you can do that. You can do that easily, right? And then another thing that I saw on the internet was like, we'll talk about that when we get to the Loki trailer, but people were speculating that was Scarlett Johansson in the Loki trailer, like talking with Loki and seeing to the distance. She is not. So it's Stephanie. Well, it's almost confirmed that it's Stephanie DiMartino playing Lady Loki. There are set pictures of her with the same dress up and the same hair. So
out here crushing dreams.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, but it's actually better because Lady Loki serves a very like important like picture in the Marvel universe because, well, like Loki cheats death because of Lady Loki. So it's important to see how they're gonna deal with that, and we'll talk about that when we get to the Loki trailer. But in terms of Black Widow, I'm very excited to see like how this movie deals with the nuances of the multiverse and also Nat's role in the MCU, because obviously she's Gonzo, right? Like the Soul Stone doesn't give you back, like like a soul for a soul, right? That's the rule. So breaking their own rules would be kind of trash. But like we've already seen Marvel do it in the past, right? Like we already saw them like reboot, and at the end of the day, as Nick said, it is a company. These properties are very valuable. I'm the type of person that believes this movie should have happened like 5 or 6 years ago. But anyway, I'm super excited for it.
Okay, but here's the thing. And I'm putting my tinfoil hat on here.
Let's go.
But the Soul Stone was destroyed. The Soul Stone was destroyed. So what if the souls given up for the Soul Stone come back with its destruction?
Wait, when was it destroyed? I'm confused.
Thanos destroyed them all.
In the primary timeline.
In the primary timeline.
Yeah.
True.
So like that's the only little tidbit of
that's
hope
very true.
That's the only little tidbit of hope I can hold on to, because Thanos destroyed the primary timeline Soul Stone. So like, yes, like does that technically, like is it usually a soul for soul? Yes, but like we very rarely see Infinity Stones destroyed, if ever. Usually Adam Warlock just gets the glove and he fucks off to some corner of the universe, or Dr. Doom gets it, or the Silver Surfer. But like Deadpool, which is an awesome timeline. One that I wouldn't want to live in by any means. But it is one that exists. My last point about this trailer, yes. Is that him? Oh, no. I have the Bob Ross one.
Oh,
I have the Bob Ross one. My last point, Taskmaster looks incredible.
Ooh,
he looks so cool. Speaking of Deadpool, one of Deadpool's best friends, Taskmaster.
Yes, sir.
Did you guys like the? I mean, did you like the suit as much as I did? I mean, kind of looks like a tricked out like motocross like racer, but like
it does.
Like I think he looks dope.
Mizu.
Honestly, I'm just happy that he's even in the MCU, because I've been waiting to see what they would do with Taskmaster, because he is relatively easy to put in the MCU, because there's some Marvel characters that would be pretty hard to like replicate and put them in the MCU, but characters like Taskmaster like are perfect, especially for Black Widow. So when I heard that he was going to be like one of the main villains, I don't think he's going to be the main villain. I feel like he's just I don't think he is. I think he's just the the muscle. He's kind of like in Star Wars, you got the Emperor and you got Darth Vader. Darth Vader is the muscle. He's the one who does all the actions. I think Taskmaster is the person doing all the actions. I feel like there's somebody else involved in this, that there's going to be like another villain who is basically, telling Taskmaster what to do.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I thought you were saying like he was going to get dispatched, but like I don't see of any. He was saying like knowing Taskmaster's abilities, I can't think of any way that Nat could beat him because he can emulate anything he sees. And there's nothing except for obviously like if you watch a Superman shoot, like obviously different universes, but stick with me here. You watch a Superman shoot lasers out of his eyes. He can't do that. He's human. But like there's nothing Nat can do that's superhuman, so anything that she can do, he can do, so I think it's going to be beating Taskmaster is like when Naruto has to fight himself, she has to overcome herself to overcome Taskmaster. I think it's gonna be a visual representation, more symbolic of her overcoming her own self to beat Taskmaster.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. My main thing with like costumes and whatever, I'm calling it right now. The Black Widow suit is gonna be the meta for Halloween cosplays.
I hope so.
And beyond. The white suit, baby.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed. Oh, everyone's out there in tight white leather. Okay. Take that.
Yeah, it's like Comic-Con is gonna be real, like a lot of doppelgangers, like a lot of Spider-Man meme. Like
yeah. Listen, I'll go dressed up as her. I don't care. You find me that in a single XL, woman's double XL, I'll slip into that little baby powder. Oh, baby powder. Yes, I'll take some photos. Any last talking points on Black Widow? Gents?
Not really. I'm excited.
Okay, so quickly before we get into Loki, MHA movie 3 trailer dropped about 30 seconds. Teaser trailers are a war crime, and I want them expunged from existence. I don't think they should exist anymore. But what we see is they're talking about the progenitor of quirks. I think we're going to get how quirks started. They just say, in like the first episode, they're like, and one day there was quirks. I think we are going to get how quirks started, especially considering what the overarching theme of this season is the beginning of One for All and All for One. So I'm thinking this movie, we are going to get how quirks start. On top of that, Midoriya is now a mass murderer. What's going on there, Mizu?
I want to know just as much as you. I was confused on that. Like, why are they doing that to my boy? Like, my boy Riku is not that kind of person. I just want to know. I just want to see how they do that. Like, of course, it's not true. Not the
what
way,
if it is?
But
but what if it is?
But if it is, that'll be crazy. But I'm betting on it's not true. But I want to see how they frame him into something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How did they set him up that way to be looked at as a mass murderer?
You know what I could see is like he's got his finger flicks now that shoot air. His punches can knock down buildings. I'm thinking either clearly they're doing like halo jumps and they're like covering their faces. It seems like it's a stealth mission of sorts. So either they frame him. My current theory is they frame him of being a mass murderer to get him to like appear bad, so we can then go stealth, be undercover, or there's a mistake that's made. A mistake is made, and now it's over. It's lights. Like he knocks a building over and 12 people die or something like that, because that's always like with what's the old Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm sure All Might has almost done it several times. He's destroyed, we've seen him destroy buildings. Endeavor in his fight against the Nomu destroyed several buildings. Like great power, great responsibility. So those are the two storylines I can see.
Big facts.
I definitely can see that. Especially with as you said with the other one, with him being like looked at as bad, or it's like an accident, and then there's some kind of outward force that there is trying to get him. So maybe for his quirk or anything of that nature. So honestly, it can go down either way. But one thing I do like is the little costume upgrades they all got. They look pretty cool.
They look sick.
Deku, Shoto, and Bakugo with the little their main theme colors with black on it. Like it was like stuffed black mode that they're all
they're going undercover. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So we got MHA. It's only 30 seconds. How long can you talk about 30 seconds? don't even get me started on the JJK Zero trailer. That was like 15 seconds. Like that was like, they were just like, yeah, I don't know, throw some scraps out. I mean, we are like getting a little background on the bad guy, which is good. I want to get background on the main bad guy. We don't know anything about him. JJK, we do kind of just get thrown in the beginning. We don't know the bad guy's motivations. We don't know a lot about him. We don't even know a lot about cursed spirits. We don't know a lot about cursed
objects.
Technique. Yeah, cursed objects, nothing like that. So I am excited to see what happens with chapter 0. Technically, the manga's already out. I haven't read it. But I mean, before we get into Loki, sorry.
No, I got it.
From those 15 seconds, was there anything you guys gleaned?
So I already
have read chapter 0.
The chapter 0, and the part I'm looking forward to is the character Yuta.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, Yuta is, all I gotta say is he's very powerful. Like apparently he can go up there with Gojo. Apparently he's that strong. And yes, apparently we some stuff goes down in chapter 0 that puts this character up there, and we have to worry about him because he comes back up later in JJK, which in the JJK anime and manga, which I can't wait to see. So, and he was kind of in the beginning of the trailer or the thumbnail, he was in it. So
yeah, he is. He's the thumbnail of the trailer. Yeah.
So I can't wait to see him.
That's gonna be big. Jose?
I liked it. I was a bit obviously confused because I'm in episode 8, as you will all get my opinions on and catching up with your boy. But I'm super excited, man. Like this universe has surprised me in more ways than one. I'm a huge fan of lore building and establishing like clear rules that you can like follow, and some people can bypass because XYZ reason, like just like they did in Avatar, just like they did in Demon Slayer. Like there's a lot of effort that goes into lore building, and JJK I think has a lot of potential. Even though I haven't read the manga, I know that there's a lot of people covering, and then they know that like this has the potential to be one of the biggest new gen animes. And so the excitement that I see for this movie and for the rest of the anime is well warranted because I'm hooked. I'm hooked, bro.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I wish I could be in your place rewatching JJK for the first time. If I could delete one anime from my brain to watch for a first time again, it would be SAO, but second place would be JJK. Oh God, I'm so jealous of you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's about time to talk about time.
Yes, sir.
The Loki trailer. Jose, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one because you got the theories, my guy.
Dude, okay, so the basic premise is I love Owen Wilson. First of all, I love Owen Wilson. So
doesn't. Wow.
Yes. So wow. Wow. So as we know from the trailer, Loki has broken the time stream, right? So Loki, by taking the space stone, has created branching alternate timelines, right? And it's gonna be a time cop movie, a time cop series. I mean, like, so he's gonna be playing the James Bond role type thing, where he's trying to fix the alternate realities that he created, just like he did in the what's it called, the Night Guard. He's played Tom Hiddleston has played a James Bond style character before in a limited series. Yes. Okay. And he does the James Bond character so well.
He's dapper. He's a dapper dude.
Yes. Oh yes, bro. And so I'm excited to see it come to fruition. The main thing that we have to talk about is obviously the timekeepers. So the timekeepers, for anybody that doesn't know, are the 3 figures that show in the elevator, like as the elevator's going down, the timekeepers. So it's basically 3 like semi-humanoid creatures that they function as the remnants of the time variance authority, right? So they are the ones that control the time streams across the multiverse, right? And so they essentially, well, there's a few people that like they answer to, but basically they answer the Living Tribunal, which for those of you that don't know, the Living Tribunal essentially keeps balance throughout the multiverse. It's a nexus being that controls everything, and nothing happens without the Living Tribunal knowing about it, because everything that he could like stop could have massive implications on all the timelines. So these 3 beings are meant to go back and teach they're meant to live until the end of time and teach civilizations the mistakes of the past so they can fix them, right? And go, like time moves forward because they allow it, right?
Of course.
But these three beings are corrupted, and so they go backwards in time. And like as their corruption happens, obviously we won't get into the details because that's a lot of Earth 616's shtick, is figuring out those things firsthand. They basically destroy the civilizations that they try to help, which is really weird. Like it's weird to think about, but it's really exciting to see how they're going to incorporate it. And so Loki is going to be thrusted knee deep into a lot of like time loops, things that shouldn't happen, which is really interesting because as we know, Marvel also has the What If series. So Marvel has the What If series, which shows you what would happen if certain things in the MCU had happened differently. So I believe, for example, and one of them, like T'Challa is Star-Lord or something like that. It's like it's really
T'Challa but half ego.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be sick.
So it's like all of those things, and it's anime style. It's animated, so it's like it's really cool to see how they'll deal with that in live action, especially since the multiverse is about to kick off in the most beautiful of ways with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Like
Spider-Man
8 months late.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I love the fact that they're going into. I mean, Marvel's gonna have to go into overdrive, man. They have so much history. And so much lore that they can dive into. They essentially have free range. Like you can have 3 different sets of Avengers, like straight up. You can have it. You can bring the X-Men and have them be like the ultimate Avengers, right?
Yeah.
And have a version of Wolverine, like X-23, lead them, and then you can have another one where it's just like what's it called? Like you can bring the what's his name? Like you can bring the original Avengers, but then change like the genders and stuff like that. Like they can do so much because they've had so much history in the past that deals with time travel and time variances. So I'm really excited. What were your opinions on the trailer, Mizu, and then Nick?
Honestly, I am also looking forward to it as well, and I love how, if people didn't peep in the trailer, Loki's suit had variant on the back of it, like his jumpsuit said variant. That means like he's a variant of Loki, and some people speculate that he's going to be fighting different versions of himself. So basically they're using one Loki to take out many Lokis, which also plays into what we talked about earlier with the Lady Loki. So I think that is wonderful. Yes,
that makes sense.
I like how they're doing that. I love how they're bringing up, because they kind of hinted that Loki is a problem in the trailer, and so they're just like, why not fight fire with fire? Why don't we just take a version of Loki to defeat him?
How do you choose the Loki? Is that out of a lineup? Is that a raffle system? Like you're just like, you know what, C93, get over here. You know, the whole thing reminds me a lot of the time cops from Rick and Morty. Like who go and they manage people who are messing with the like the timelines and all that. So like, I know it's not going to be Keegan-Michael Key and Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele. I know it's not going to be them voicing them, but a man could hope, right? But like obviously, like that's what I was thinking the whole time, and obviously, like I have a love-hate relationship with Loki. I'm very vocal about not liking the angsty co-main protagonist. Like I'm not a big fan of Vegeta. I'm not a big fan of Sasuke. I know. You made so many videos this week about loving Vegeta. I know. I don't love him. I relate to the MCs. I like Gon. I like Goku. I like Naruto. Like those. I mean, I also like Killua. He's my one exception. But like, I like the main protagonist. So like, so Loki kind of falls into that nature. I'm like, I'm done giving you chances, bro. I'm done giving you chances. Like obviously very much looking forward to that. Looking like he is a force of, he's one of the better actors in the MCU. Full stop. Tom Hiddleston has a fantastic range. He's a great character, and how no movie has ever gotten worse with the addition of Owen Wilson. Like this man is Lightning McQueen. This man, Wedding Crashers. This man, other movies. That's literally Marley and Me. Oh God, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. But yes, no movie has ever gotten worse with the addition of Owen Wilson. So that is my final and most prudent point on the matter. Okay, that brings us. I mean, unless we have last points.
Actually, I got one thing to say. So
shoot,
we know that basically the time variant, they've been around for a long time. So that means they knew the entire time of what has transpired or what was going to transpire in the main timeline with Thanos, the snap, the blip. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know, hopefully in the show they explain, I just want to know what their rules are, what their like things, what can they do, what can't they do? Because if they just have free range, I'm sitting here like, how come they didn't like kind of step in when that kind of stuff happened? Yeah. Or maybe there are reasons why they can't step in. So I just hope they do explain how their whole job works as being timekeepers. And I like how you brought up the Living Tribunal, because it is a good segue into it, because we have been mentioned in the MCU with the Living Tribunal before and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. And the other one was like going off of that, and thank you for bringing that up. We also haven't seen it before. Like we've seen the Watchers before, right? We saw Stan Lee's cameo, like talk to the Watchers.
Right, he was talking to them. Yeah.
And the Watchers are also like they also function as overseers of the multiverse. So it's like it's really interesting to see what Marvel's going to do with those characters that are supposed to keep everything in check and why they aren't doing it.
That's the thing. So, and you know what, neither of you guys are watching this show currently, but the segue is almost too perfect. Vivi of the Fluorite Eyes is this Funimation joint that's coming out right now, and it is beautifully animated. But the biggest thing is it's about this AI. It's about AI taking over the world about 100 years in the future, and the entire premise is that this AI gets sent back 100 years to make sure that the AI and humans don't get into this war. But the thing is, it's only sent back to adjust certain time points. So it'll spend 15 years dormant, and then it'll be like, now this is the time where we have to fix one specific event. Because if this specific event occurs, then we have to deal with a much larger down the line catastrophe. So how I'm playing this into Loki is there's a situation, and I guess spoilers are ahead if you haven't seen the end of episode 2 of Vivi of the Fluorite Eyes, but there is a scene where Vivi, who's the main character, sees a friend of hers on an airplane, and she sees in an article given to her by the AI 100 years in the future that plane blows up. And so the AI, like, she's trying to stop the plane from taking off, and the AI rocks her shit, rips her in half, literally rips her in half. And so like that, I guess that may be how they're doing it. There's a greater timeline that they're trying to preserve, but they're trying to stop key points in order to drive to a preserving future. Because in the current timeline of Loki, I guess if we're talking the main timeline, like yes, Thanos did the snap, but also obviously as the timekeepers probably don't see time, like they're like Dr. Manhattan. They don't see time linearly. They see everything happening simultaneously. The past, the future, and the present all happen simultaneously. So they also know that everyone comes back. So like, don't go back and stop Thanos' snap because time already amends itself. So like, I think that's how they're going to play into it. There's going to be a greater down the line catastrophe that they're trying to avoid. Yeah. And that's how like they're going to derive the choices that they make.
Yeah. Taking a page out of the Final Destination book of BS.
Oh, I still don't drive behind trucks carrying logs.
Bro,
no, don't do it. I can't do it. I literally was driving yesterday, saw a truck full of logs, and I was like, yeet. Nope, I'm not getting behind you.
Nope.
All right. So is that it? Are we good on Loki?
Yeah, I think we're good on Loki, man.
Okay. So how about we go catching up with Jose first?
Oh, okay, babies. Okay,
let us know.
Fam. As I mentioned before, I'm catching back on Jujutsu Kaisen. I am in episode 8. I'm a big fan of Sukuna so far. I love the personality, and I love the scene where Itadori and Sukuna are bargaining. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I love that. Haven't seen like something so good. Like the duality between the villain and the hero, like working together, having to find like a niche where like they're both in the same lane. Oh, I love that. And it brought me like sidebar. It brought me like a very recent flashback to the ending of the Justice League Snyder Cut trailer where Joker is just making fun of Batman and being
just
like,
all in his face.
you know, we got to work together to get out of this one, honey. So like, I know Itadori is like feeding Sukuna, being like, bro, you know I can stop you from coming out, but like, you got to make sure no killing, right? No killing everybody. So like full on Terminator 2 moment. Love to see it. We just got to meet Nobara. So
that doesn't happen until episode 8.
Well, I think it's episode 6 or 7 where they go fight the Roppongi together.
Yeah,
that's where like we see her. I really like her.
Ago.
I really like her.
She's fantastic.
Yes, Fushiguro is currently my favorite character as of right now.
Salmon Row.
He's the bad boy. He's a bad boy, and these demon dogs are super cute.
Never mind. Every time we say Fushiguro, I think the cursed speech user, and I always say Salmon Row, but that's not him. That's not him. It's JJK Sasuke we're talking about. Of course, that's your favorite character. Yes. Of course, you Vegeta stan.
Don't call him that. He is not like Sasuke. That's an insult to Fushiguro because
you're right. It is. He's way better. He's way better than Sasuke.
Set him straight. Set him straight.
Okay. All right.
I love Fushiguro, but I definitely know that like I'm gonna get like a little bit more attached to Itadori as things go on. I also met Maki. We met Toge, like talking with the panda. I love that like you can only talk if you're talking about food. That's me every day, bro.
That's fair.
Every day.
That's fair.
Like, I can't even go to Walmart without buying a pack of Oreos. Like I would have my spirit talking all day, every day. And then finally the big thing that happened in my episode is just realizing the whole like the scope of these people's power, like the sorcerer's powers, because Mr. Gojo did some domain expansion on Jogo and almost sent him to the Shadow Realm, but we got Hanami being like coming in and being like, no, sir, not today. Not today. So I'm very excited to see what happens next. As of right now, I would probably place this series as one of my top like priorities in terms of like being like wanting to finish it ASAP. Because I have a list of anime that I know are good, like that I know are great, and I have to see. And like I think like JJK is right there. Like it's in very few episodes, it's shown me enough lore, enough character development, and enough like well thought out animation that like matters, like deep animation with nuance. That I'm like, bro, it's better than just watching. I mean, I know Neon Genesis Evangelion is good, but like for like having
you haven't seen Neon Genesis Evangelion?
I haven't finished it, bro. As I told you, bro. I've watched anime all my life, but like remember, I grew up in the era of the internet, but I always got like RuneScape and stuff. So my computers always had viruses. So every time that I went into like. Yeah,
you were out cutting logs instead of getting Neon Genesis Evangelion under your nails. Oh my god, physical pain,
bro. I ended up seeing Cowboy Bebop like only a year and a half ago, bro. Like it's ridiculous. Like I've seen
Cowboy Bebop art over my bed.
Yeah, bro. Like the thing is I've watched a lot. The thing is it's always been scattered. Like for example, I feel like I've watched like most of the Bleach arcs, but it's just because I watched Cartoon Network so much and like
it was just on.
It was just on. I was like, okay, Bleach again. Ichigo, what's up? So like that's what I used to do. And now that I like grew up, I'm like, okay, now I can watch anime because I can make my own money and pay for Funimation instead of just getting viruses on my computer and watching it like in shady websites. Don't do that, kids.
Definitely don't go to kiss/anime.ws.
Yeah, no, or 9anime.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Subscriptions over here.
Yeah. Funimation, Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yes, Gojo is that man's eyes. Oh,
gorgeous.
Oh Lord.
A bunch of my TikTok is filled with people gender bendering Gojo, and it's gonna make me act up. It is going to make me act up because that would be
God.
See, because you don't know her yet, but there's this woman who has white hair, and she also covers her eyes, so it's like it's already there. It's already there. You wanted me to make this conclusion. What were you saying, Mizu?
Yeah, Mizu.
I was gonna say, can we just talk about the fact that since you're on that episode, how shook that lava curse monster was when he did the his curse?
Bro.
My man was stuck there like, what just happened?
What the hell, bro?
The only thing I can liken it to is when not Shizune, Naruto woman who tries to put Itachi under Genjutsu.
You talking about Kurenai?
Yeah, Kurenai tries to put Itachi under Genjutsu, and like literally Itachi just like comes up behind her and is like, that level of Genjutsu doesn't work on me. And you're just like, oh, you're so far out of your depth. And like that was also like a very transitional moment in realizing like how powerful these people are. Because like a half an episode later, Kakashi is stabbed for 72 straight hours. And like you're like, oh, we're really scrapping out here. Like we're really fighting. Yeah, Gojo is insane in that episode because he's just kind of a laughy dumb idiot until that fight, and then it's just not even close.
No, Gojo was insane. Gojo was insane, but people just laughed up because he's cool. He literally talked about killing the higher ups. Like he's like, it'd be really easy to kill all the higher ups.
He can,
but I don't go that route. But,
I don't go that way, bro. I don't go that way.
He's like Shinsu in that way. He's like, listen, I could be a bad guy. Like I could be the worst guy, but I'm not. And you better thank your lucky stars every goddamn day I didn't wake up in a bad mood.
Waking up on the left side of the bed for Gojo means domain expansion.
Because I will red blue you into the astral zone. Like you will be dust, my guy. Yes, I am so happy you are catching up. It gets better. Everything that you said that you like about it gets better every single episode. The animation gets better. The fights get better. The character development gets better. It doesn't pull a Black Clover
on me. It won't go like choo.
No. And also, yeah, like I guess the manga and the anime are sufficiently paced out that you're not gonna have to take a break.
Okay, bet.
Which we could get into at some other point. But yeah. It's not gonna pull a Black Clover on you.
Oh, amen. I'm super excited. Right. And then the last thing I'm catching up on is Invincible.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm not alone?
Yeah.
I
like
it. You watching it too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my winner. That's my winner this week. Oh,
okay.
We'll get into it.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Manga with Mizu. Let's get that first.
All right. So as you know, I'm one of the people who reads manga in this group. And just in case you guys want to get into manga,
a local librarian
that I use called Shonen Jump. And it's an app where you can get most of the known current manga that is out. It only costs $1 a day, but not a day. $1 a month.
I was gonna say
$1 a month, not a day.
That's $30 a month.
$1 a month. You get to read almost any manga you want. And I've been catching up on some manga, and the one I want to shout out for this week is Kaiju number 8. So, are you guys both fans of Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
I am.
Oh yeah.
Hope a lot of you out there are fans of Attack on Titan, because basically Kaiju number 8 is like Attack on Titan, but replace Titans with Kaiju. Pretty much similar plot to
Monsterverse.
It's right now, I say it's very similar to Attack on Titan, as in like story pacing. Like it's a world where Kaiju exists. They don't know where they come from. The part that is different is that the part I like is the main character, and he is not your average kid to teenage main character. His name is Kafka, and he is a 32-year-old man.
Love that.
So the part that's interesting about him is that in their world, Kaiju are everywhere. They don't know where they come from. They just sporadically just show up, kind of like similar to Pacific Rim. They come from a specific place. They don't know where they come from, but they're trying to figure out why.
Hollow Earth.
In the meantime, they fight against them with this group called the Defense Force. And the Defense Force is like the scouts. They go out there, they kill them, they take them down, report and all that kind of nonsense. So Kafka, since he was a kid with his childhood best friend, Mia, both of them had dreams of becoming part of the Defense Force. And they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to do it together, and we're going to be standing by each other's side. Well, life happens, things go sidetracked, and Kafka, instead of being part of the Defense Force, he's part of the cleanup crew. So after the Defense Force does their job killing the Kaiju, he has to go with his crew to clean up the mess. They clean it up. They send different parts, and the part that's kind of cool is that they send different parts to certain institutions because they can make armor and weapons out of their kaiju's parts, which is pretty cool because it comes into play later on in the story. But Kafka, is dreading life because he felt like he hasn't achieved his goal and what he wanted, but he's not too upset because he's still kind of content because he's like, I'm still doing something that's similar to what I want to do.
You're just like bone sawing through a kaiju foot, and you're just like, yeah, no, this isn't it, Chief. I should have gone to college.
And then he meets a kid who's trying to get into the defense force, who has to do kind of extra credit kind of stuff, an extracurricular activity, and he's doing this cleanup crew. And basically, this boy inspires him to give another go. And he's like, hey, well, the Defense Force changed their age requirements to 33. So you got basically one more year to give it another try. So basically he goes through with the kid to get into the Defense Force until they get attacked by a specific kaiju and things go down. He saves the boy's life and they both end up in the hospital. And out of nowhere, out there in the hospital, this kaiju creature attaches itself to Kafka. Kind of like
Parasite.
Like Alien.
Much, like a parasite. It was pretty much a parasite. And he becomes a kaiju himself. He becomes a type of kaiju humanoid thing, similar to how Eren is an attack type. So he is trying to grasp that. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hilarious. My man Kafka is so funny because he's freaking out there. He's like, oh, what's going on with you? And he's running like, I can't do this. We gotta go somewhere. We gotta get out of here before they find us out. But before we go, I have to go in the bathroom. And then the dude's like, well, you don't have anything down there. He starts crying like, what do you mean? Like, I won't get married or nothing like that. I won't be the prettiest bride in the ballroom. He said, and he is hilarious for no reason. But pretty much the plot is similar. As of right now, the plot is very similar to Attack on Titan.
Sounds dope.
With kaiju, and it's really interesting because we find out more stuff. We find out what turned Kafka into a kaiju. We find out that there is a kaiju who can talk. Kind of like how we found out how the Beast Titan talks, like, oh, the Titans can talk. We find out there is a kaiju who's controlling some of the kaiju taking over. So we find out a lot of interesting stuff.
Wow.
So I definitely would give it a read. And I pray to God that this gets an anime.
It sounds like it should. It sounds like it has the makings for it. One more time. What was the name? What was the name for everyone out there?
Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8.
And right now, so Shonen Jump is trying to transition because they understand that there's, the digital era. So they're trying to transition a lot of their manga into on apps and laptops, stuff like that. And Kaiju number 8 is one of the top 5 manga digitally right now.
Oh yeah, it's getting an anime. No way around it.
Yeah. Hopefully it's an anime.
I was about to throw my signature line. Toei Animation, get to work.
Hey, listen.
Work.
Whoever wants it. Mappa took AOT. Might as well throw it to Mappa. Whoever wants it.
Is absolutely beautiful. Like the panels and everything looks amazing. I can't wait to see because the man pulls off some crazy feats. That I'm just like, I said that they're similar to Titans, but no, these kaiju, I'm sorry, Kafka out the gate right now can beat Eren and all of them right now.
Oh,
the kind of power he has, it's insane.
Good. I'm sick of the Jaegerists. I'm sick of them. Send some kaijus their way, honestly.
King Ghidorah.
That's the thing we never talk about. Sure, we just watched Godzilla vs. Kong. Hong Kong's gone. It's just gone. You just have to move. It's just gone. They don't talk about the cleanup force. So I'm happy that the janitorial services are getting their just desserts. Thank you for your service.
One thing I was gonna say is with what happened to his childhood friend. Well, pretty much she becomes a poster child for the Defense Force. And she is like an absolute badass. Like she is the symbol of the Defense Force. She basically achieved his dream. Mia achieved Kafka's dream before he could, and now that's another reason why he's animated to get back into doing it again so he can be at her side. And she noticed this a little bit, so she which is kind of cute because she actually kind of pushes him a little bit to come on, show him my side. And there's some interesting awesome characters that are really lovable, and I can't wait to see what they do with them as well.
That's awesome.
That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, get there. Get there before the AOT manga spoilers get there. Please do yourself a service and get to kaiju number 8 before they all get there. All right, that takes us to winners and losers of the week. Can I get it started here, gents and gents?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have two winners of this week. Okay, my first winner is Titan, and since we were just talking about Titans, kind of works. Titan, but not the Titan, not Aaron, not Armin, not the female Titan, the Warhammer Titan. No, we're talking Titan from Invincible. Okay, Titan is the single best amalgam of character ideas I have seen in a long time. He's like Luke Cage meets the Thing. This is a man who can cover himself in rocks, but is essentially bulletproof and is like he's like an amoral criminal. And my man just hustled his way from literally like hired muscle to the CEO of an entire city in like a matter of like 20 minutes. And it was incredible. And while we're talking Invincible, you're catching up, sir?
Yeah.
Where are you? Where are you?
I just finished episode 1. I'm like 13.
You just finished episode 1?
Yeah, I'm like less than 10 minutes into episode 2.
Okay, so you've seen the end of episode 1 then, no?
Yeah, it's wild.
I want to. Here's the thing. I was watching that and I was like, I want to see Superman do this so badly. I wanted to see Superman do it so badly. Bro. Like not the Flash, the Red Riot or whatever, the red streak or whatever his name was, like breaking his hands on Omni-Man's chest. Oh my God, that scene was incredible, bro. He used Batman as like a hammer, like he just
literally took a page out of the Hulk in the original Avengers.
Mizu, where are you? Where are you in Invincible?
I'm on episode 2. I'm trying to remember what has I think episode 2. I haven't got to the recent one with that like white tiger dude that everybody keeps talking about.
Yeah.
But I have not gotten to that episode yet. But yeah, I think I'm on episode 2.
Dude, okay, you guys, you need to catch up because the White Tiger, I would love to talk about him and I would love to talk about the events of that, but I don't want to spoil it for you too.
Yeah.
Let's just say Thanos pulled up. Okay.
Oh,
Thanos pulled up. All right. And he went snapping. Okay. He was angry. It was like Thanos at a slam poetry event. Okay. It was like this. Oh my God, so much fun. I'm so excited. Okay, my second winner is Sword Art Online Weebs, because we got the Sao Progressive trailer. Sao Progressive is a light novel and it covers, I mean, you have both seen the first season of Sao. Essentially, Sao skips from floors 30 to floor 75 when they eventually get out. Only problem with that is everyone wanted to see that. It's about 1.5 years of content we just straight up miss in the SAO world. So we, as an SAO fan base, much maligned SAO fan base, I'll have you know, have been clamoring for an animated adaptation of a season, a movie of what is considered by many to be the best thing SAO has ever done, which is SAO Progressive, because it brings us back to Aincrad. And that's when SAO made sense. Before Alfheim, before GGO, it was a masterpiece. So we are getting SAO Progressive, and the trailer looked incredible. It is going to be us, Asuna, the Yui, and we are going to be fighting bosses again. We're going to be doing switches. There's going to be life and death consequences. We have seen characters in the trailer that we haven't seen in later seasons, so you might as well kiss them goodbye because they don't make it out alive. And I am excited. SAO is making a comeback. Season 2 of Alicization was a masterpiece, and now we have SAO Progressive coming down the pipe. I am exuberant. Okay, I've gone off on my tangent now. Jose, give me your winners.
I was gonna go to Mizu first because I still have to pick up the thoughts.
Oh, okay. Jose is collecting Mizu. What are your winners?
So I have 2 winners. My first winner is definitely Shinso from My Hero Academia. I'm just happy because everything that's transpired with this character I've seen in the manga. So I'm really happy to see him in the anime and what he's gonna do animated. So plus him as a character, you know, coming up from being in a general class, going into the hero class itself, that's practically unheard of because that doesn't really happen.
No.
Usually, if you're stuck in a class, that's what you're going to be stuck in. And it sucks to suck.
0 to hero.
And yeah, my man went from 0 to hero, and he's going to show them up. He's going to be incredibly resourceful, I would say.
Yeah.
My second winner will have to be Kafka from Kaiji number 8. My man is hilarious.
Climbing the pegs.
My man is perfect, and I love how he's very likable, and on top of that, he's a grown man. Don't get me wrong, I love kids 13. Like, I just like seeing a grown man. Finally, a grown man.
Give me some representation.
Yeah.
I pay taxes.
Like, finally, yes, a man with a job, a man with an actual life.
Not some orphan. I pay taxes.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's awesome. All right. Those are your 2 winners?
Yes, those are my 2 winners.
Jose, are your thoughts collected, or should I do my losers?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
My 2 winners. First of all, LeBron James. LeBron James is one of my winners of the week for more reasons than one. First of all, his job against Brooklyn got a whole lot lighter because LaMarcus Aldridge just retired.
Straight up was like, I'm good. Well, he has a heart condition, but yes.
Yes. But evidently he's a former All-Star. He's been doing it. He knows how to win. So like his load got a whole lot lighter. And also we got the Space Jam trailer, which we'll talk about eventually, just in a little bit of detail. But basically, bro, my man is gonna take it home. I believe in LeBron. I am a LeBron fanboy. I'm a Mavs fan for all those. I don't follow every team he goes to. I'm a Mavs fan, but I love LeBron. And so I'm excited that I can tell that his humor and his acting game is at a decent level where he'll like take the Space Jam franchise and make it run with it. Yeah. I'm excited to see. It's the first time we've seen Game of Thrones since the show ended. They have a whole
Clockwork
world.
Orange? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Hey, I don't know, but I am sold, bro. Warner Brothers, like, sold. I'm sold. And my other winner of the week is Gojo, baby. Like, at least I'm catching up on JJK and brother. Like, Gojo is literally like the version of Vegeta that like I never got, which is like helpful, but at the same time, you know who I am. You know who I am.
For real.
So Gojo's my dude. Gojo's my dude. Those are my 2 winners.
You mean he's like Vegeta, except he's not an appetizer.
Yes.
You know,
big facts.
He's not the
Big
appetizer
facts.
before Goku shows up, who's the main course.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll give his best for like 5 solid minutes, and then he'll lose to an android. But don't worry, Goku's on the way. Goku's on the way. That's for a different episode entirely. Okay, but quickly before we move past Space Jam entirely, who's a better actor, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? Have you seen Trainwreck? It's like the only movie I can think of that he's in, but he just plays LeBron James in Trainwreck.
Yeah, I know, but like if we're being perfectly honest, like Jordan was never like the elite actor. The best acting that he did was like basically playing against himself in that commercial, that Gatorade commercial, where he's like playing the previous versions of himself. That's like the best. That's probably one of the best sports commercials that I've ever seen.
Nah, him versus Larry Bird, McDonald's commercials.
Oh, true.
Yeah, the shoot around McDonald's commercials.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of ground to cover. But I like LeBron, and I know that he's like he puts in the work, so I like that. The other one is obviously, like, in my opinion, the best sports star that I've seen in an actor role, like have multiple lines, is KG in the Uncut Gems. Like, like Kevin Garnett played himself like and actually had like pages of dialogue that he had to like go through. And like I felt it, bro. Like he was at the jewelry store, but he commanded the scene. So the expectations are high. I'm expecting lots of great things from my boy LeBron. But yeah, those are my 2 winners for the week.
What about Kyrie and Uncle Drew?
Well, yeah, but I got my own opinions.
That movie
Kyrie.
Was awful. That movie was terrible. Okay, all right. My loser of the week is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. The entire show came out with a new season, and I hadn't watched it in about a year and a half. And I was like, my Twitch chat was popping off. They're like, "Yo, how not?" I was like, I gotta think of some animes to watch now that Dr. Stone is over, now that JJK is over, now that Reincarnated is over. So I was like, I gotta find some anime. People were like, "How not to summon a demon lord" is coming out, and I was like, okay, let's watch it. Tentacle scene, 2.5 minutes in. 2.5 minutes in, there's a tentacle scene. I got 10 minutes into the episode and I was like, we're done. I had to walk away with it. It makes High School DxD look like a literature paper. Like it makes harem anime look like complicated theological talk. It is god awful. Oh my god, I couldn't watch it. This may make some people mad, but like, the only people it's going to make mad are a very, very horny 14-year-olds, and that is what the show is made for. So I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Maybe I'm too old for harem anime. I don't know. Who's your loser?
You going first, Mizu?
Yeah. So my loser. Well, I can't go into so much detail, but for right now, my loser has to be Aaron. Because I read the recent chapter, the last final chapter of Attack on Titan. I won't go into detail for both y'all's sake and the viewers' sake, but
I have a feeling I know what's coming. I have a feeling Mizu was wrong.
Mizu was wrong. No, here's the thing.
Okay.
I was right, but not the way that I wanted to be.
Okay.
It's a bittersweet thing.
Okay.
So I was just like, but anyway, Aaron is my loser, and it's not because of that. It's something totally different that has just threw me off. That I guess to some people makes sense, but to me, I was like, this was not set in stone. Like, what
have you done?
Like seriously, like now I can't take it seriously anymore.
Oh god.
So all right,
that's
all right. So now we got something to look forward to. We know we got a loser down the line. All right, Jose, what is it? Let me know.
My loser of the week is unfortunately me and everybody else that likes mythology. So for those of you that don't know, the show American Gods on Stars, it is officially having its last season, which is season 3. They've officially canceled it, and that sucks because I love every like mythology has so much to offer. I know that the last season was like kind of like mixed reviews, and this one had like I think it had like a 70 something in the tomato meter. But like I love mythology, and I love the way the first season introduced all the different like gods and gave them personality without being offensive. So like because obviously they deal with like dead religions as well as like current religions in the world, obviously Judeo-Christian religion and stuff like that, and they did it gracefully. So like exploring fantasy content in a like a tasteful way, I'll say. So I'm really sad that it's the last season, but bro, also Jogo, bro, you just got clapped by Gojo, bro.
Oh, I forgot.
The fire
names
demon.
Are so similar. Yeah, their names are so similar.
The fire demon. Like you just got like your courage is shot. All your confidence is gone because that void is gonna take you home. So I'm super excited for episode 9, and I'll catch up with that and Invincible by the time our next podcast rolls around.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, cool. Any final talking points, gents and gents?
Ooh. Guys, I don't know who's gonna stay up, but I just saw that the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode tomorrow morning is gonna be over an hour long. Like it's
really.
Oh yes, baby. We're getting a full on feature length film, baby. Oh, I love it.
Goodness.
Ready.
I haven't stayed up for any of them, but like that's like I could being on the West Coast, but like it's a nice Friday morning treat, you know.
I'm staying up till 5, bro. Got reviews, everything, bro.
The content cycle never ends, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't as glorious as we make it look.
Always.
Mizu, you got anything left? Any final talk points?
I definitely want to piggyback off of that. I am definitely looking forward to this Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode, especially the way they ended it on the last one. Definitely, like I said, if you want to get into manga, look up Shonen Jump app. Kaiju number 8, and I'll give you guys some more every week.
And shit, while you're downloading manga apps, download the Black Sands app.
Oh, true.
Right? Right?
Yes.
Right?
You
Right?
should definitely do that. See, if you let me put
Look
a
at
little
this
plug
guy.
in here. So Black
Look at this
Sands,
guy.
you love to see stories similar to like like on Webtoon, but with more people of color, like Latino, Black, Asian, more stories written by people of color. You should definitely download the Black Sands app. It's basically like I said, it's like Webtoon, but of course on top of that, you also get little rewards and things of that nature as well. Like every chapter you read, you get a certain award that can unlock certain things or even lore boxes and things of that nature. So I definitely should give it a download, give it a try. The app comes out May 1st, but you can pre-order to get on the app.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, if that's all we got, guys, I am NickCComedy on TikTok, NC Hammer on Twitch, NC Hammer 23 on Twitch. Let's remember my own tagline here. And on YouTube. That is.
Mizu, my bad.
I should have probably been like, that is Jose or Mizu.
Yeah.
Would have been
Go
the better
Mizu,
play.
go Mizu.
You're good.
Yeah.
Got it, bro.
Plug yourself.
My direction, like I'm
Yeah,
on top
I was
of
like,
so
Yeah, this is go.
I am Mizu Shogun on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I post some of my little compilation videos if you guys want to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Jose. I'm currently rebranding, so I'll give you all the details in the video description eventually. Don't worry, I'll give you all that plug.
Formerly known as
the
Tropical
man formerly
Yeti.
known as Tropical Yeti. Rip in the pieces, chilling with Stan Lee. But hey, we'll be back. We'll be back. Don't worry.
Yes, we will. All right, guys. And as we obviously know, the schedule was a bit weird this week. This is going to be coming out on Thursday. Well, shooting on Thursday, probably out on Friday. But we will be going again on Sunday, and we will be getting back into our regularly programmed, scheduled content. It's just life comes at you fast, ladies and gentlemen. When you are of our age, life gets a bit wild out here. And we're gonna try our hardest to stay on schedule here, but stick with us. We appreciate all the people, all the YouTube subscribers, all the downloads, guys. You made us the number 4 anime podcast in the United States with 1 episode, guys. That is incredible. I mean, shout out to you, Jose. Shout out to you, Mizu. You guys have been incredible in this. You guys have plugged it. Listen, I'd love to say all 2,000 subscribers came from my end, but I know damn well that's not true. Mizu plugged it on a video that did 1 million goddamn views. That's where we had a funnel coming from over there. Tell the beasts, explain. But yes, guys, you will be catching us on Sunday/Mondays. And we will see you in a couple of days. See you guys later.